Do you want to talk about your argument with
Hmm.
Vervaeke and maybe Bachelor's characterization of the dualistic kind of characterization of Buddhism in the West, of sort of practitioner on the one hand, seeing it from within and seeing it from without, scholarly kind of study, people in university maybe who don't practice.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was like one of the initial points made in the podcast. And I was trying to listen to the podcast and like make breakfast and eat breakfast one day. And I was like, oh, I can't, I have to take notes. This is I don't understand this. This doesn't make sense to me because, if he's holding them up as sort of metaphors, I can kind of understand it, but there isn't anyone who, how do I say this? People do not engage with culturally specific Buddhist practices because they think the culturally specific elements are necessary. Um, a lot of people will get into that from the beginning. Like that may be the draw. Oh, it's exotic. Oh, it's, it's something different. It's an interesting cultural thing. Oh, I've always liked Japan, so Zen's really appealing to me. Like
Mhm.
that there's a validity there, but no one who's a serious Buddhist practitioner would call that activity Buddhist practice. You are engaging in cultural forms. Um, and maybe that was true on a cultural scale in like the 60s or whenever it was well, not even the 60s, like the 30s, right? Whenever it was that Buddhism started slowly coming to the West. I'm thinking more in Europe
Mm.
than in the States, but in talking about the 30s, Alexander David Neal, some other people. Um, if that was the 30s, it was a long time ago.
Mm.
Anyway, this has been developing for a long, long time. Um, this understanding of Buddhism in the West, and the idea of there being scholars who don't practice is true. I'm sure you could find some at colleges and stuff, but there are a great number of people who are scholars and who do practice. And to say that it's a problem that we need to solve sounds to me like a, a projection of a problem from 100 years ago, maybe, you
Mm.
know. So that's kind of the place I get a little confused because to my mind, the healthy way to look at it is unlike Stoicism, Buddhism, well, I don't know if that's a fair thing to say. Maybe Stoicism also counts. So I'll retract that slightly. But I'll just say Buddhism is a living tradition. And the tradition of Buddhism is the passing of the enlightened mind of Shakyamuni, teacher to student, teacher to student, teacher to student, for 2,500 years, 3,000 years, whatever it's been since the Buddha was alive. And it is taught that it is the same mind. When you are enlightened, you have the same mind that the Buddha had. You have the exact same mind. It is not, they are not different. They are the same thing. And it is that mind that is transmitted down, which is nothing other than your true nature. It's not a special thing that you attain, but it's the realization that your true nature is the mind, the enlightened mind of the Buddha, and your true nature, your enlightened mind. It's the same mind. There's no difference. Now, the cultures that have carried that tradition and that transmission of the mind down through the years have built up those structures to support the passing on of that teaching, of that realization. If we in the West want to approach that, we don't want to approach it and come in and be like, well, all your cultural trappings are like, give me the truth. Give me the thing that's at the heart of it. Give me the true thing. Because that's exploitative, that's extractive. That's like the cultural trappings were built as a structure to point to the truth, to maintain, to guide, to guard, to protect, and to pass along the truth of the enlightened mind. we as supplicants, as students, have to approach that with respect. We have to approach that with humility and a desire to respect the work that has gone in through generations after generations after generations of teachers to develop this form, and to
Mm.
understand that like we are honored to enter into this thing that has been maintained for thousands of years.
Mm.
Now, upon entering into it, meeting it, meeting the culture that has done us the honor of holding it as a living tradition for us to entering into it, understanding it, it will inform us and we will inform it as Westerners, as Europeans, or whatever you want to call it. Over the next few generations and generations and generations, there will arise out of that a truly enlightened Western Buddhism that can incorporate philosophia, that can incorporate scientific study, that can incorporate the Enlightenment. um, I really liked when you pointed that out earlier. That's funny. But we don't get to that place by turning to the culture and saying all of this is dumb and we need to get rid of that. And we don't study things. We just adhere to the core, the essence of the teaching, and that's the only real thing that matters. It's very dismissive, and I think it's trying to rush the process of developing a genuinely Western Buddhism because of an inability to sit with the discomfort of how long this is going to fucking take. It's going to be, I mean,